subscribe and share. Please, turn off the ad block, subscribe, and share. Links will be below for anyone wanting to support this channel.
Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett and I'm the founder and owner of TechViews Nope, and today we are doing another part for the Apollo 13, a true story behind it, and this is given by Fred Hayes, an Apollo 13 astronaut. He's going to explain what happened, how it got into place, and some things that they did and didn't cover in the movies, and what they modified in the movies. Now, with this, all parts will be down below in the links in the comment section. And again, as I said in the first part, this was not professionally recorded. This was on the spot. So please forgive the audio and video quality. If you like this, please leave a like, subscribe, share, and feel free to ask questions and anything else. But hope you enjoy this.
And somewhere in the background, in this picture, but there was a tent set up, and the actual people, the geologists who were going to be in mission control when you were on the moon, were in that tent. And incidentally, if any of those geologists knew the area, had ever studied it in their background, they could not be part of the exercise. That'd be cheating, so they were excused for conflict of interest for that exercise. But we then ran traverse just as planned, and there was one fellow that was the real expert for this area. He wasn't necessarily going to be involved in the mission, but whoever was the best expert that had studied and spent maybe years knowing the geology of the scene, he was your, call it the overseer, commissioner, and he took notes as you went along to later critique this team, both us and the guys in the tent, on as we did the collection and whatever, if we had missed something. They didn't give, when we were talking, that they didn't interpret it correctly in the back room in that tent and give us refined instructions. So all the exercises were done that way, as much as a real mission as we could. We did water training of various sorts. Basically, all this, like survival training, we did to cover the areas of the world potentially you might end up entering and landing in. So and the kind of the latitudes we flew with Apollo, we got water, we got jungle, and we got desert. So that was our three survival type training. Now this actually is more an after splashdown in a water tank. This constitutes a double failure. In other words, the capsule has landed, splashed down. It has, we couldn't get rid of the chutes fast enough. It ended up upside down. And then the second failure was we tried to inflate the balloons, that several balloons that float normally that could ride it, and they failed. So now we got to come out, as you've seen, from underneath, swim out from underneath. So that was the point of this exercise. This training, you actually a double duty on a centrifuge. I don't know if you know what a centrifuge is. Normally you'd be in an aircraft cockpit, or in our case the capsule, and they can spin you up and get very high G levels. And in this case we modified the rig to just use it for suspension, to suspend a good deal of our weight, and we practiced just jogging around that track. And it's basic. So that was kind of a pseudo modification to give you a little feeling of the G on the moon. This was a field down at Kennedy Space Center, made up to look like a lunar field. That's about all it was, to look like one. But again, we ran complete end-to-end exercises there where we had a mock-up. In fact, the mock-up that's well, right over here, there's a lunar module in the Welcome Center. I understand that mock-up was the one that was in the training building at Kennedy Space Center at one time. And we would start the day, let's say this exercise, in that mock-up, and we'd go through the complete suit up and get ready to come out, including pressurizing the suit. And then we'd call it off, we'd depressurize the suit so we could climb down the ladder. And we'd get out, and now we'd pressurize again, and we'd do all the stuff we were going to do around the base of the limb, getting the rover out and deploying it in that Apollo 16 we had over, or getting all the equipment out that we're going to use on the traverse. And then we'd depressurize again. And there'd be a pickup truck, and we'd hop on the back of the pickup truck, and it hauls out to the field, and we'd pressurize again, and normally a suit tech behind you with a hose feeding your cooling water. And you go through your normal EVA, little checklist on your wrist, so you go through the whole EVA. You're going to do that for that EVA 1 or 2 or 3, and complete all the tasks. Here I was practicing using the drill I was supposed to use and collect about a 10-foot sample from the moon through the regolith on the surface. And then you do the same thing in reverse. You'd end of that EVA, you depressurize, you go back on the truck, they haul you back inside, and then you'd climb up the ladder and you go through all the cleanup in the cockpit. So that exercise might be, all total in the end, might be 6-7 hours. So it's a long day. It'll be hard work. The suit is hard work to work in. If you think about it, a suit is pressurized. And when it's pressurized, it wants to stay in a position, your arms and your legs. So any motion you do is work. You're working against the suit. In fact, you develop padding inside on your underwear, and long underwear. You figured out where the suit rubbed, and you started adding padding. So I had shoulder padding, I had wrist padding, because you're working against that ring, at the gloves attached to that metal ring. When you lift your feet, your top is hit the top of the boots. So I had padding on the tops of my feet. So anyway, you develop that because there's a lot of wear and tear that way. And like I say, anything you move, the hands, another thing, you had to fit the suit tight, unpressurized. In fact, you normally had your arms so length set, so you really had to pull your shoulders back, keep your hands out of the gloves, because you'd be impacting against the end of the gloves. Because the suit, when inflated, stretched. So you wanted your arm length to be where the suit now stretched. You have your hands fully in the gloves to do the ripping and the work you needed to do.
What is it like walking in one of those suits?
Same way. That's why you saw on the moon most of them did hopping. It was a lot less work than trying to move the legs and shuffle. So the hopping took less energy, less work.